Hey, hello everyone. Ed from New Haven, Connecticut here. Hope everybody is doing well. Throwing my hat in the ring for, you guessed it, another contest here in the VC. So this is for Daryl and his channel, Northern Vinyl Guy, that is just celebrating 1 year in the vinyl community and making videos. So I remember subscribing to Daryl, I guess, well, back in January 2024, right? A few months before I started. Always enjoying his content, his videos, a lot of same musical overlap, really good stuff. Very measured guy, seems like a very nice guy. So Daryl, have always enjoyed your content from the very beginning. So I'm looking forward to throwing my hat in the ring for this contest, and who knows, maybe I'll win. So two prizes for this contest. We get to choose if we happen to win. One, he'll send a few random CDs to us. If that's our choice, we can get some random music sent our way. Or we could have him stripped down to a t-shirt and some shorts and jump into a big pile of snow up there in Northern Ontario. So I'm not sure about that, but I'll think about it some more. And if I win, then I guess I really have to mull it over. But before I begin my entry proper, Daryl, just want to do a little shout out here to the Canadian Wall, mostly Canadian Wall, behind me here in honor of your 1 year. So we've got some of the cores de Canada from Canada. We've got some Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Leonard Cohen, Martha and the Muffins, Katie Lang, and although not from Canada, I know you're a big fan of him, is Bruce Hornsby. So I got some Bruce Hornsby in the range back there. I think you even did a while back a video of your top 5 Bruce Hornsby songs. So see, I told you I'm watching, I'm remembering. All right, so let's get into the prompts. So the first one he had was, let's see, share a song lyric that has a unique, strange, or unusual word in it. So I really racked my brain about this, and I actually kind of struggle with this. I thought about different, turns of phrase and lyrics and songs, and other people have brought some really great stuff to the table. But when I thought about this more, I really thought more about not just a specific word, but maybe just a unique sound. That phrasing where you're listening to an artist or a band, and it has that ring of sounding both new and familiar at the same time. And what you're hearing is English, and you can make it out, but the vocals just ebb and flow, and they almost sound like the instruments that are behind them, right? So that turn of phrase and that beautiful, beautiful sound. So when I think of unique phrases and sounds and things being said or not quite heard properly within the context of a song of their catalog, I think of the Cocteau Twins, right? Absolutely beautiful stuff. This is a lovely best of Stars and Topsoil that came out in 2011, I believe. So this covers their early period from 82 all the way up to, I keep looking, to 1990. So it ends up with tracks from Heaven and Las Vegas. So this is absolutely fantastic. So all of their EPs and early best ofs are here. And once again, the Cocteau Twins, it's you can hear it, you can make it out, but it's more about just the sound and the texture and the turn of Elizabeth Fraser's phrasing and tonality in these songs, right? But if you think about unique words or phrases, you look at some of the song titles, you look at Sugar Hiccup and Ice Blink Luck. And the song that really drew me to them back in the day was Pearly Dewdrops Drop, which I think came out in 1984. I remember hearing that for the first time on the EP when I was in college, and I just couldn't believe what I was listening to. It was just so, once again, it sounded new and familiar at the same time, and absolutely just gorgeous to listen to, and still is. So when I think of unique words or phrasing or structures of lyrics being sung or spoken within a song, whether I understand it or not, I think of the Cocteau Twins right here. So a beautiful best of right here. Fantastic. All right, so next up we have to show a vinyl pressing from a country that I don't live in, so something outside the US. So I have tons of UK imports and stuff from Australia and all that, but I'm actually going to show you this. This is Talking Heads' Little Creatures. And you're probably saying to yourself, Ed, looks pretty good old US of A to me, but actually, if you look very carefully on the bottom, you can see we've got some Japanese text down there. So this is a Japanese pressing of Little Creatures. So interestingly enough, the inner sleeve is in English, all that. But the Japanese piece of it is I have this booklet here that came with a bunch of crossword puzzles on there, some jumbo crossword puzzles. All the clues are written in Japanese. And inside here is all just various, Japanese releases and pressings from various artists, probably from the Warner Brothers label, I would assume, I'm guessing. So the way I ended up getting this record was actually by mistake. So there was a time period, probably around 2014, 2015, I was buying vinyl, and I was kind of doing the eBay thing with certain sellers. And back then, vinyl was still pretty cheap to get online. So I saw this on some seller's page. It was $1.99. I said, I can't believe it, $1.99. I can't afford not to buy it. So I click on it, I buy it, and then when I see the final set price, I see it's like almost $35. And I'm like, what? So of course, It was coming from Japan, from overseas. I wasn't paying attention. I agreed to it. I bought it, and I'd forgotten I bought it. And about 6 weeks later, it finally showed up. So this is how I ended up getting a Japanese pressing of the Talking Heads' Little Creatures. All right. So next we have show a band from, in my case, a state that borders mine. So I'm here in Connecticut. I could have went with New York. I could have went Massachusetts. I could have went with Rhode Island. Many of options there. I decided to go with Massachusetts. I'm going to show an artist that I've shown before who I don't think it's talked about that much. I think other people know who he is. I think Mike over at MJK Boston does. And that is Barence Whitfield. Barence Whitfield and the Savages. This is Ow, Ow, Ow from 1987. Barence Whitfield from Massachusetts. Real name is Barry White, by the way. Excellent party band, still around, still making great bar music, rock and roll, absolutely fantastic stuff. If you ever get to see Barence Whitfield and the Savages live, I highly recommend you go. They're unbelievable performers. So right out of Massachusetts, right here is Barence Whitfield and the Savages with Ow, Ow, Ow. You're not familiar with this stuff? Pick it up on the cheap. It's pretty great. What do we have that's next here? Music item or paraphernalia that is in my collection. So for many, many years, I collected Mojo magazines, the British music magazine, like 20 years worth. And I'm actually slowly selling them off on my eBay page for a pretty penny. People still want this stuff. Give it a new home, which is fantastic. But one that I'm keeping is the special edition of 60 Years of Bowie that came out in 2007. There's an all Bowie edition. They did a number of these for various artists, but this one is just really, really beautiful. This goes up to the time period of Heathen and Reality. I'll just show you a couple of pages in here. It's chronological, just amazing. All people who worked with Bowie, partnered with him. It's broken down into various chapters. Here's 1980 to 1989. Really, really great stuff. Phenomenal. This is 60 Years of Bowie, put up by Mojo. Really quality stuff. A great read. I still reference it and go back to it. Fantastic stuff. All right, so next up we have Show an 80s album. Not real difficult for me, as you can imagine, but I didn't overthink it, but I just wanted to grab a band that I really hadn't seen anybody talk about. I don't think I've talked about yet either, and that is Heaven 17. So this is Penthouse and Pavement. This could have went for a foreign pressing as well. This is a UK pressing. Their debut from, 1981, right? 1981? Yep, got that right. Great stuff here. The break off from Human League, right? We've got Glenn Gregory, Ian Craig Marsh, and Martin Ware. Classic Heaven 17 tracks here in this debut. We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing, Penthouse and Pavement, Song With No Name. What else? Oh yeah, Let's Go Make a Bomb. Great stuff. This and The Luxury Gap are great 80s releases. I love Heaven 17. Just great synth pop, really danceable, really catchy. And but their covers are a little odd, right? I mean, there are these photos and there are these weird kind of paintings of the band. They're almost a little creepy in a way. But you know what? It all works for me. So it is the new partnership that's opening doors all over the world. Heaven 17 with Penthouse and Pavement. Classic 80s new wave synth pop album. What is next? Let's see. Discuss a struggle or challenge of collecting music. So, well, a lot of people are saying the same thing. I guess I'll echo some of that. For me, it's all about just the space and where I'm at in my house. So I'm in my music room of the house. Ostensibly, it's a dining room, but it's a music room instead. I've got stuff behind me here. Across the room, I actually have a sitting chair over there with an ottoman so I can sit and listen to the music. And across from me over there, I have another one of these bookcases, 4-cube thing with some more records and music books in there. And that's it. I don't want to put any more in here. I could, in theory, move down to my basement. Half the basement is finished. Previous owner was a big man cave, I suppose. So wall-to-wall carpeting, recessed lighting. It's really beautiful. I could set up a huge music room down there. But you know what? I like having everything up here in the house, in this floor of the house where I'm at all the time, so I can hear the music wherever I go, inside and even a little bit outside. So for me, it's all about just making best use of the space, and I am continually getting my music and just getting stuff out there in the ether that I'm not listening to anymore. Somebody else will give it a good home. So the word to use is purge, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of stuff that I have no interest in anymore. That'll get me a good penny if it's out there on the market with some local record stores that I go to. And I know it's going to go to somebody who is going to appreciate it as much as I did back in the day. So that's my story there with the vinyl inventory, as it were. Next up, name a Grail or sought after record to get in 2025. I know that I've talked about the go-betweens many, many times. I don't want to go out and spend tons of money on those beautiful box sets of all their reissues, so the go-betweens are certainly a band for me. And I guess, as I think about it, as I move into this year, I've been almost a year in the VC as well, so it really has recharge me with exploring new music and new artists, something that I haven't done in a long, long time. I've kind of stayed within my own little realm, if you will. So it's great to be able to be exposed to a lot of new artists and a lot of new bands that would have been unaware of if it wasn't for watching other folks' videos and getting to learn about new stuff. So in essence, I'm attracted in buying some new music as well, where I haven't done in a long time. So it's just another offshoot of the vinyl community as a sidebar. Let's see, show an album. Show an album people will be surprised that you own. So yeah, are you sitting down? I hope you're sitting down, because you're going to be very surprised that I have this record. For those of you that have watched my channel and know my musical tastes, you're going to be really surprised. Are you ready? Twist! Yes, that's right. Iron Maiden's Killers from 1981. Not the original, is a repressing from later in the day, 2014, I believe. So yeah, I actually have some serious classic core of the canon heavy metal right here. Iron Maiden Killers, right? With the original lead singer, Paul Diano, if I'm saying that correctly, who passed away recently. So I came about this copy many, many years ago. My buddy Andy is from the UK. He's a big metalhead. We have a lot of the same interests with punk and all of that, the Damned and the Saints and all of that. We love all that stuff. But he's a big metalhead and a big Iron Maiden fan. So he knew that I was collecting vinyl. So he got this for me. And have I played it? Yeah. Played it more than once? Yeah, I played it a couple times. It's actually pretty great. It's a nice pressing. It sounds fantastic. So as a double twist, I actually saw Iron Maiden live back when I was in college, back in 1988, I want to say, with my roommate at the time. That was my first all-in, full-on metal show, which was unbelievable. Unbelievable. So as much as I can remember, it was probably just a little bit. But so, I do have an Iron Maiden album, and I've seen them live. So there you go. All right, and lastly, we've got shout out to a non-VC channel. So I had to really think about this too, but I do have a channel that I watch, which isn't part of the VC, but it is music oriented. It's a DJ channel, and the name of the channel is Isaac Varzim. He's from Brazil, so he does a whole bunch of mixes a couple times a week, all lo-fi stuff, chill hop stuff, some club music, some dance music, all great mixes, which I put on. They're all commercial free. I put that stuff on. If I have to go into the office at work, I can actually stream it and listen to it. Great stuff to have as background music for like either a dance party or something a bit more low key. Really, really great stuff. A lot of funk, a lot of jazz, a lot of electro and trip hop stuff all mixed together. So definitely I'll put a link to his channel below. He doesn't need me to promote him. He's got plenty of fans, trust me. But it's a cool channel to listen to some great instrumental club and chill out and trance and trip hop music. So it's fantastic. I love it. All right, so that's it. So that is my entry into the contest. Daryl, once again, enjoying the channel. Congrats on the 1 year in the VC. And, I'm going to say it, folks, with everything going on out there, there's a lot going on out there, especially here in the U.S. recently, as most of us are from. Let's all take a moment to sit back. Remember, those of us around us, take a look around. And remember, let's just be kind to one another, right? That's all it takes. Let's just be kind to one another. All right? Until next time, folks. Thanks again.